Hey guys, we're back with our next episode of our Sryth Fantasy Text-Based RPG. Last time we were here in Warfoot and we were dealing with some of the adventures here. We fought and told a giant to leave. He ended up getting killed trying to go to Ryosio. We did something else that I can't remember. And I just did it, so it tells you how bad my memory is. But we did an adventure in the inn as well, and roughed up some boys at a farm, and then some guy wanted me to come and kill them, but I was like, nah, bruh. So I'm gonna go on with this next adventure. I do want to say, because it's been a minute, 16 days. So let's go. Thanks so much for hanging out and joining me. Let's just get to it. Mudheart. Your dogged pursuit of a murderous goblin leads you deep into the tangled mire of Ram Agorad's slough. I figured this wouldn't be long. That's why I didn't do this one instead of the one for the inn. Late afternoon, deep in the tangled heart of a tangled bog. 4 days of a dogged trekking to the Ramagoran's slough. A fetid mire that straddles the eastern straddles. Okay, I was like, what? Straddles the eastern Tissian border has left you hopelessly weary, desperately longing for familiar trappings of a more civilized world. The perilous trek through a seemingly endless watery labyrinth of leeches, snakes, biting insects, and bottomless oozing pools has exacted a heavy toll on your reliable, unshakable spirit. Even promise of bounty offered to you by an agent of Thane Quirith does little to steady your waning resolve. It seems that the murderous goblin may again elude capture. At last, just as you're beginning to entertain the notion of abandoning the hut, allowing the goblin to escape, you discover the single careless imprint of a clawed foot in the muck of the edge of the reedy pool. All thoughts of letting Mudheart slip away instantly vanish. With a renewed sense of purpose, you take up the vile creature's scattered trail. Mudheart, a vile litany of murderous deeds ascribed to the infamous goblin outlaw known as Mudheart, is indeed long. For the better part of the decade, the savage mountain goblin has terrorized settlements along the eastern Tissian border. Several attempts to hunt down the goblin, who notoriously escaped after being captured by a band of border rangers, have ended in failure. It's been said that Mudheart possesses the strange ability to manipulate the motion of those in close proximity to him, which has led to some to believe that's how the goblin has evaded justice for so long. Oh, he has psychic powers. Awesome. Let's go. Within an hour, Mudheart's trail has led you to an island of high, stony ground that rises up to tower over the surrounding bog. On the north side of the island, a worn path snakes its way up a series of sharp ledges before ending at the tall but narrow mouth of a cave. Elation as having at last tracked Mudheart to his apparent refuge is tempered by the realization that delivering him the justice he so long evaded will require that you brave the unknown dark of the fiendish creature's secluded lair. Okay, you standing on the stone ledge above the vast tangle of the slough before the narrow mouth of a cave. Nothing stirs in the gloom beyond the cave's foreboding maw, though you're certain that somewhere in the musty darkness lurks the murderous creature you've been hunting for nearly a week. A week? With your every sense alert for the first possible sign of danger, slip to the narrow passage and make your way into the cave. Let's hit it. Oh, this is a beauty. Let's go north first. You cautiously make your way through the damp gloom of the cave. Yeah, okay, that's what it's been saying. Okay, nothing up top. A grim snarl from somewhere in the deep gloom ahead freezes you mid-step. You hastily draw yourself into a combat-ready stance just as a massive black wolf emerges from the shadows. The savage creature, its fangs bared and its guttural growls echoing along the damp tunnel, suddenly bounds forward, eager to set itself upon one of its favourite items of prey. Human. I am human. Deal with it. You step back from the bloody carcass of the wolf and exhale sharply. Suddenly you notice the crude leather collar around the wolf's neck. The presence of the collar can only mean that you've just killed a beast employed by Mudheart to protect his lair. After carefully checking over your gear, you rarely resume your expression in the cave. Like, yeah, there's not just a wolf in here. Obviously, they're in cahoots. Alright, nothing down south. Let's go this way first. Nothing. So, we are leaving to a dead end. We want to go north first. Another wolf. Quick combat. He's got 2 wolves. Where is he? Something has been carved in the wall in this section of the cave tunnel. Close examination reveals Tally's was here. Tally's gets around. What is this thing? He's not here. Okay, we just gotta keep killing his wolves till he shows himself. Where is he? Suddenly, the sound of something moving up from behind you causes your heart to skip a beat. Instinctively, you whirl around in a semi-defensive stance, prepared to face whatever it is. Much to your surprise, the gloom-filled passage appears to be empty. What? Okay, he's messing with my mind. Psychic powers. You just gotta run around till you find him. Okay. We're losing it. Yes, Tally's was here. Congratulations, Tally's. Okay. Check this corner. And the other corner's where I came in here. Finally. As you near the mouth of the cave, something heavy drops onto you from above. A clawed hand clasps itself over your mouth, and a flash of steel blade passes before your wide eyes. Come on, yes! You twist left and right, violently wrenching your upper torso in an effort to throw off the creature clinging to your back, whose clawed hand covers your mouth. Desperate, you pitch forward, turning into a roll that sends your unknown assailant sailing into the cave wall. You step back and assume combat-ready stance as a leather-clad goblin, now seemingly unsteady, staggers to his feet and spins towards you. You at last face to face with Mudheart. Gil! You can expect no quarter from me, swine. This is the vile goblin, his cruel grin bearing a line of jagged, rotting teeth. Nothing in it for you to come out of all this way hunting me down like some kind of beast. You're not a beast? Mudheart stabs and accused her finger at you. Is that racist for me to think he's a beast? I mean, you're a goblin, that's a beast. Like, if we're thinking Harry Potter terms, beasts are less than human intelligence. So, he's saying he has human intelligence, and he should be treated equal as humans. Okay. And what are my pets, human wolves that aren't easy to come by? It's my right to avenge them, dear friends as they were. I'll have all of your blood. With that, the savage goblin hurls himself at you in a frenzied attack, viciously swiping at you with long-bladed knife. Gil. Why would I subdue it? I'm not kidding. A faint gurgling sound echoes through the darkness, and Mudheart staggers back, clutching at his throat. A thick stream of oozing blood pours out of the goblin's mouth as he collapses into a heap against the cave wall. The murderous creature's blazing eyes flicker for several moments as he draws his final ragged breath and expires. Sorry, bub. A search of Mudheart's remains turn up a small quantity of gold, his long-bladed knife, and a copper ring that his finish was left forefinger. Realizing that you'll need to provide some proof of the goblin himself, you decide to take the items with you. Then, with no desire to spend even a moment longer here, you make your way to the cave and begin the long, arduous trek out of Ramagron Slaw. Hey. 2 days after finding your way out of the mire, you arrive at Warfoot and meet the agent of Thane Querith, who has later learned of Mudheart's demise. A quick examination of the long-bladed knife, once wielded by the vile goblin, is all that it takes to convince the man that you delivered justice long overdue to the savage killer of a man. The agent, a grey-bearded man with a patch covering his left eye, pays you bounty of 1,000 gold and promises to deliver word of his success to the Thane. Word of Mudheart's death spread swiftly through the eastern region of Tisa and ultimately to the rest of the kingdom. The tellings of the vile goblin's demise vary substantially, depending upon where the story is being told and who's telling it. You remain the central figure in the heroic tale that will live on through the ages. Perhaps the most creative retelling of your quest to hunt down Mudheart involves you defeating a trio of massive swamp serpents magically commanded by the goblin outlaw. It seemed fit to discredit that particular version. I mean, say what you want to. Say what you need to say. Well, can we sell this thing? I'll take it. I don't want it. Alright, let's speak to people a bit one more time. Eat the powers again. Alright. I don't know what we're supposed to do with these claw-shaped things. Who's been here recently with me? Hi, David. Nice to see you. Alright. I'm gonna travel. There's still plenty more to go in here. But first I'm gonna go southwest to Hocklaw. To... what? Seriously? You're somewhat surprised when a rugged band of 6 highwaymen give you a wide berth, making no attempt to waylay you. Seems that you've earned a rather fearsome reputation among various groups of brigands that prowl the wild. Reputation in these outlaws seem unwilling to put to the test. I mean... hey, you don't want to start that? Me neither. I'm coming to visit my sage. Axe of Fire Spirit. Oh, I didn't know I unidentified axe. The unidentified copper ring is a ring of wild might. Let's take a look. Axe of Fire Spirit. This double-bladed axe and stick haft engraved with flames is a weapon you took from the corpse of Tazarl Mage Ganak. Rare weapon you wielded against you in the ruins of Thal Braic. Weapon is of magical qualities. I didn't do two-handed stuff. Alright, what's the other thing? The Ring of Wild Might. This is a copper ring you remove from the finger of Mudheart after killing it. Unbeknownst to you, this ring originally belonged to an adventurer who was lured to his death. Oh. It once belonged to an adventurer. I mean... I'm not going to do anything with it. I won't sell it though. We'll leave it for my castle. Which is southern? General? Northeast? No. Northern. I feel like I can never remember where I live. Yeah, by Chinwell. Candles. Nah, I don't want upgrades. I just want aesthetic upgrades. Oh, I kind of store some stuff. Store items. You know, the X. Isn't that wearing the dragon claw amulet? Am I? Neck. No. I need this other stuff. Mask of Wild Fortune. That sounds vile. We have an warrior artifact. I didn't know that. Though. Alright, let's hit it back to Eastern. See what's happening in the Withering Wood. The village of Dor Drought. Visit Dor Drought. Is in the throes of chaos. A thick, pungent cloud of black smoke hovers over the settlement, and the broad tree-lined road along which you've travelled is choked with village-fleeing residents. You attempt to stop and question a group of men and women moving swiftly away from the village, but receive only a hail of curses in response to your attempted inquiry. Undeterred, you rush along the road toward the village centre, determined to discover the source of the mayhem. As you pass the first collection of Dordrout's outlying buildings, the unmistakable sound of battle reaches your ears. In the middle of the village's main thoroughfare, in front of the smouldering remains of a small church, a group of 8 border rangers and a lone grey-haired Tissian knight are waging fierce battle against a pair of large axe-wielding cave goblins. Even more shocking to you, with the combat prowess of the 2 goblins, is the carnage in which they are apparently responsible. Bloody corpses of 4 border rangers and nearly 24 villagers lie strewn about the ground at their feet, suddenly reminded of the legend of Greenskin, in particular of the roster of otherworldly accomplices that the mortal ogre at times employs to carry out his bidding. Your heart skips a beat as you come to realization that this pair of goblins seems seemingly intent on destruction, Dor Drought, and none other than Fierce Spit and Rot Grip. Who is that? The vicious pair of immortal cave goblins, immortal, are in the service of Runeskin. They often appear in advance of their master's arrival, serving ensure that the immortal ogre receives a fitting welcome for this arrival in Sryth. Full names of these savage brutes also, as ascribed to them by those who have witnessed their destruction and cruelty, are Fiercebit the Savage and Rotgrip the Executioner. Dang. Suddenly, one of the goblins, Fiercebit, turns in your direction and grins wickedly. You have been spotted. While you're able to determine your next course of action, the vicious immortal goblin raises up its gloved hand and a large sphere of lightning appears just above the tips of his finger. With an unearthly howl, the savage creature hurls the crackling orb at you. The deadly sphere hurtles towards you at an alarming velocity. Well then, I'm going with a fortification. The sphere of lightning smashes into your hastily erected magical barrier and fizzes brightly before disappearing. Fiercebit snarls and gnashes his yellow fangs before cutting down a border range with a single stroke of his double-bladed axe. The immortal goblin. What does immortal mean? Does it mean we can't kill them? Or just that if we don't kill them, they'll live forever? The immortal goblin leaps over the body of the slain rage and bounds along the thoroughfare towards you. Loose! In a single fluid motion, you draw your bow, notch an arrow, and loose the shot at the charging goblin. Success! The feathered shaft sinks into Fiercebit's chest, causing the immortal goblin to howl in pain. You watch as the horror of the savage creature tears the retreating missile from his flesh and casts it aside as he charges it into melee range. Fiercebit snarls viciously as he takes two swooping strokes with his double-bladed axe, each of them coming within inches of removing your head. I should save you for the master, he growls. You seem a bit more worthy than the rest of this rabble. Dick Combat. He's not dead, isn't he? Yeah, his wounds are already healing. Fiercebit falls back, clutching at his wounds, which have already begun to heal, but he is immediately replaced by Rotgrip, who howls with rage as he cuts several wide arcs with his broad-bladed axe. What manner of insolent fool are you? My master enjoys a good fight, but your lack of respect for his champion is almost alarming. You defiantly engage the mighty Rotgrip. I mean, it doesn't matter. Just get back up. Rotgrip curses and staggers back out of melee range as the wound you've inflicted upon him begins to rapidly heal. On the ground at your feet, you spot a black gem which you promptly pick up. The immortal goblin roars with rage and appears to be grouping with Fiercebit for another run at you when you startled by the sudden blast of the horn. All eyes around the thoroughfare fall upon what approaches. Door dropped from the south. A mounted regiment of Tissian soldiers led by a red-caped captain thunders along the thoroughfare from the south, their blades drawn as they rapidly bear down on the two goblins. Fiercebit and Rotgrip retreat north along the thoroughfare, but not before 3 more border rangers fall victim to the savage strokes of their axes. Rotgrip raises his hand, and a swirling black portal opens to his left. The master is coming back to attend to his flock, sneers the foul goblin as he prepares to step into the vortex. Well, we regrettably find pity in our hearts for such pitiful creatures. He knows no such burden, until again we meet. Fiercebit and Rotgrip step into the portal and are lost from sight. The swirling Neville gate closes behind them. Together with the surviving border rangers and the newly arrived soldiers, you spend the next couple of days burying the dead and having the village of Dordrot return to some semblance of normalcy in the wake of its recent nightmare. You speak at length with the grey-haired Tissian knight who fought alongside the border rangers. His name is Tritorth, and he tells you that he fears that what has occurred here has consequences that will reach far beyond the small village of Dordrot. It portends death and ruin, he says grimly. I've never before had a grave misfortune of meeting up with the ogre or his minions, but if indeed this is the harbingers of Runeskin, then we are surely not rash to conclude the dark days lie ahead. Having done what you can to help those returning to the village, you set out for Telenus, accompanied by Tritorth, whose own business leads him to the kingdom's capital. Days later, at the gates of Telenus, you part ways with Tritorth. The knight wishes you well before heading off in the direction of the citadel. The first few drops of early afternoon showers track the cobblestone at your feet as you make your way into the city of the Griffin. Okay, you just sent me to Telenus without my permission. Hey, there's new adventures here. Gallows. Okay, rude. It takes some time before life goes back to normal. Okay. What's going on in the Withering Wood? Nothing. There's a cave. I'm not going to hit a cave now. I don't want to start an adventure because I have to stop in about 8 minutes. So let's just take a bit of a look around the eastern area. There's some adventures here. Trollneck is a particularly dense section of the forest at the very southern end of Theckwood. As its name suggests, this part of the ancient wood has long been associated with trolls as well as other equally undesirable things. Okay, we got a couple quests there. Now, travel back to Eastern. And more could always come up. Border Ranger compound. What's going on here? We're standing just outside the fortified Border Ranger outpost on the edge of Fernwind Wood in Tisa's eastern frontier. There doesn't appear to be much activity in or around the post, although the steady stream of smoke rising from the fire that blazes in the north side of the compound. Let's go in. This fortified woodland compound is Tisa's eastern frontier. It's home to a rugged band of Border Rangers. The Rangers, stationed here, led by a man named Neroldor, I can become a Border Ranger, whose valorous exploits throughout the kingdom have earned him his post and his steadfast respect of those he commands. The relatively few in number, the Border Rangers of this outpost patrol a wide area of frontier, keeping its roads and its settlements safe from bandits, goblins, trolls, and other even less desirable evils. According to several rangers you meet, Neroldor is currently seeking to swell the compound's ranks. Okay. Neroldor meets you in a shoulder cross and tells you that he's seeking capable individuals to swear into his ranks of his rangers. The extent of our duties and the vast area we roam has spread his numbers perilously thin, he says, eyeing you closely. I'm certain you're a welcome addition to our fold, Allison. Neroldor explains to you that what is required to join the ranks of the rangers under his command. The following requirements must be met before you can join the Tissian Border Rangers. Yes, I have a horse. I have woodsmanship. I have horsemanship. I have law. I have weaponry. I have weaponry. All the sub-skills except for that one. I have archery. I have experience and I have gold. Sure. Congratulations, Allison. You are now a member of the Tissian Border Rangers. You're currently leveled with the guild as 1. What? Neroldor swears you into the fold and you pledge your loyalty and support of the crown as well as that of your brothers and sister rangers. At the conclusion of your initial training with the Border Rangers, you're invited to participate in a hunt, a gesture symbolic of goodwill extended to you by your fellow rangers. The hunt is a success, and together with Neroldor and the 4 rangers have ridden out with you, return to the compound with the dressed carcass of a large stag. Neroldor congratulates you and then thanks you for joining the ranks of the Border Ranger. He tells you that there is much to be done, particularly for someone outfitted with your unique set of talents. He then presents you with a single wooden brooch carved into the likeness of Griffin head. You immediately recognize the famous symbol of the Tissian Border Rangers. But all of what lies ahead can wait until at least tomorrow, he says, initiating a shoulder cross before turning and walking back toward the fire that blazes in the northern edge of the compound. Let us at least have our fill of venison, and I think there's a barrel of wide leaf ale left. The fortified woodlands compound in Tisa's eastern frontier is home to rugged... Oh, I read this. Look, you guys, I'm a Border Ranger now. We're in the Rangers now. That's cool. We'll be back. And the camp of a painted peddler. Let's visit. We're standing in the recently established camp of the mysterious travelling merchant known throughout the realms as the Painted Peddler. A colourful tent has been erected in the far edge of the camp. Next to the striking shelter stands the peddler's glowing wagon. There is, of course, no sign to be ahead of the invisible horses that supposedly draw the covered carriage. Are they Thestrals? The peddler, a large, elderly man with broad shoulders and waist-length ivory beard, seems happy to see you. He stands up off his stool at the edge of the roaring campfire, bows and tips his wide brim stained hat to reveal a thick mangled mane of white hair that frames his painted face. The roving merchant's face is painted green and yellow. He offers you a wooden mug filled with freshly brewed pale next to there anything you might be able to do for you. What's happening? Yes, why is this thing glowing? Quite a prize she is, he says, leading you over to the far side of the clearing. He stops just before reaching the wagon and he opens his arms wide while gazing at the carriage as if to present it to you. Drawn by two invisible horses, mind, he says, glancing at you sideways. Quite a prize they are, too. You may not believe this, my friend, but I won those horses from a pair of ogres that were beating them in a game of dice. After beating them in a game of dice, that was many years ago now. More years than I care to admit. Yeah, you have anything special for sale? The peddler smiles and slowly nods. I've got something very interesting, something I suspect you may be keen to take a look at. Would you care to take a peek? Yes? Varkin's Ring of Motley Wonder. Hell, my friend. Well, here it is. Varkin's Grand Ring, perhaps his greatest creation, the Ring of Motley Wonder. The painted peddler produces a small box and gently lifts the lid. Inside, resting in a finger-sized piece of wood, is a thick platinum ring. The silhouetted head and shoulders of its four sinister-looking figures have been engraved on the brand. The ring's powers are legendary, but it's said to take some time to unlock them all. Magical platinum band. Shipments long ago laid upon this ring will provide bonuses to melee, stamina, and never once you've managed to unlock them. Okay. Varkin. His name was long synonymous with deceit and trickery. The master mage, known as Varkin, has in recent years come to be regarded as a legendary hero and adventurer. There are still those, however, who refer to him in such terms as scoundrel and rogue, and sometimes worse. Varkin is also commonly referred to as a trickster because of the powerful magic he secreted away in many items he enchanted. Perhaps the most famous of his trick items is the legendary... What do you mean, trick? Ring of the Motley Wonder. The magical platinum ring, not seen for centuries, is said to be engraved with the silhouetted head and shoulders of four sinister-looking figures and possess a vast array of mysterious important magic that can be unlocked by its wearer. Varkin disappeared nearly 6 centuries ago, though the talents surrounding the unexplained departure always seem to indicate that he left the Ring of Motley Wonder behind just where no one knows. Adventure passed into Griffin Crags, a rugged forest region in central Texas, have reported discovering the ruins of what is believed to be one of Varkin's 5 towers, all of which were raised just prior to the mysterious disappearance 600 years ago. What's here? From what I understand, as related to me by the lady upon whose finger the ring most recently rested, he says, anyone seeking to unlock its power must visit the ruins of one of Varkin's towers. I was told that such a tower could be found somewhere in the Griffin Crags in the middle of the kingdom. Okay, Griffin Crags. Peddler again shows you the ring and asks if you're interested in purchasing. The price is 300 adventure tokens, he says. Eyeing you closely to gauge your course, it appears a substantial amount of gold or some battle markers. You might be able to come to a different arrangement. I mean, why not? I don't know what battle markers are for. I'm not going to sell 50. I'm not going to use 50 of them. Just give him the 3-inch tokens. There you are. He says and hands you a platinum ring. I do hope you like it. There aren't many who can lay claim to an item quite so powerful or so legendary. The Griffin Crags. The painted peddler thanks you for purchasing the ring and reminds you to unlock its full potential. You need to visit the ruins of one of Varkin's long abandoned towers. I've heard tell that one can be found somewhere in the Griffin Crags. Okay, you tell me about this one. Cool. What else you got for sale? Now we get... Alright, you guys. Well, I'm going to end the episode here. But hey, thanks so much for hanging out and joining me. Next time we're going to keep doing adventures in the eastern area here. Do stuff for the border rangers, probably. So, thanks for joining me and hanging out. Till next time, you know what I'm going to say. Peace.